roast chicken. I mean, who doesn't love it? But here is the uncomfortable truth. Most roast chicken recipes are designed to fail you. You can follow them perfectly and still end up with a dry breast, undercooked legs, and a soggy back, or even worse, that. And that's not your fault, it's the method. So how do we fix it? It's actually quite easy. Today we go from that to this, to that, and then to that. And by the end, you understand exactly why one works. From uneven cooking to a bird that's perfectly done all the way through, away from soft batch skin to crispy skin everywhere.
Super tasty.
Because with each step I'm going to show you, you get closer to something very simple and special: juicy meat, crispy skin all around, and a chicken that finally tastes the way it should. And yes, that gravy is coming your way too, so don't worry. From now on, we are going to start cooking with intention, like a Michelin star chef, like Marco Pierre White taught me when I was his head chef. So I will show you why the standard way is designed to fail you, and how to move away from a simple weekday bird to what I call the higher realm of roasting chicken, and why it works, and then you know why it often doesn't. So you can stop guessing and actually start cooking with intention, because this is the thing. Most recipes tell you, preheat the oven, season the chicken, put it in, cook it to temperature, poke into the thickest part of the breast, and if the juices run clear, you're done. Technically, that's true. Myoglobin pigments unravel above 74 degrees, making meat juices from cloudy to clear. But here's the conflict. What about the legs? The back? Because when you carve it and you suddenly realize, yes, the breast is cooked, but the legs are still behind. And inside the bird, those pinkish juices appear. So what went wrong? You followed the recipe. Well, you did, but you were never really given a chance to succeed. And this is just the first problem. The next one is actually worse. Here's why. Your recipe failed you. It says preheat the oven. You put the chicken onto a tray, which of course is cold, and the top of the chicken starts cooking immediately. But the tray underneath, well, that takes 5 to 10 minutes to heat up, so the back of the chicken starts cooking much later. Result is perfect breast, undercooked legs. And this is the beautiful part. It's so easy to fix. Heat the tray first. That's it. Hot tray, bit of butter, chicken goes in. Give it 5 to 6 minutes on the heat, which gives me time to rub it with butter or olive oil. That thing, that's a secret. I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. Salt, pepper, other spices, they often just burn. Now, when it hits the oven, the legs and the back have a head start, and we are finally even. And that alone changes everything. But hey, we are just getting started. Now, everything starts cooking evenly. Could you work around this in another way? Yes, there's something called a cold roast. Chicken into the cold oven. And you heat everything together. Fan force, of course. And that's what you need to do for all your roast chicken. Cold roast works, don't get me wrong, but it can dry out a quality bird just that little bit more. But with a supermarket bird, that's probably not even a bad thing, because most commercial chickens have a different problem, and this is where things get interesting. Have you ever noticed that pouch in a supermarket chicken? As it sits in your fridge, that pouch gets thicker and thicker. Why? Because commercial chickens can be injected with water up to 30% of their body weight. So when you cook it, you're not just cooking chicken, you're dealing with excess moisture. In a roast chicken, that water sits inside the bird or between the legs. The one between the legs, that's fine if cooked properly. The one inside it's a heat sink. It slows down the cooking. That's a problem. So about 2/3 into your cooking, release that juice, let it out. Otherwise, it slows down everything. Don't worry, we're not wasting it. I will show you a purist gravy in a minute that uses every drop. And if the bones are a bit pink, don't stress. That's just young bone marrow. It's naturally red and pink. But now, let's move into something better, faster, tastier and juicier. And if you think that was good, wait until you see this. Cut along the spine, flatten the bird. A couple of small incisions here, tuck the legs in. Lemon zest, chopped garlic, herbs, soft butter, salt and pepper mixed together. Get your fingers then under the skin and push all that flavor in. Then again into hot pan, into hot oven, and now it cooks almost half the time, more evenly, with less a chance of drying out. I know this is the king of the barbecue, but in a hot oven, it's a revelation too. So you see, we are not chasing tricks, we are just understanding what's happening. Now, let's notch it up, because this is where most people stop, but this where it actually begins. Why do we brine? 2 reasons: to purge that excess supermarket water and to season the meat deeply. Water, salt, sugar, touch of soy sauce, 24 to 48 hours, then dry it, because here's the real issue. A whole chicken is actually difficult to cook whole. Why? Different muscles. Legs, they're full of connective tissue. Breast, they have almost none. So you're always choosing perfect legs, dry breast, or perfect breast and undercooked legs. Unless you do what I do. And this is one of the biggest shifts. Season a bird or brine it. And yes, there's that thing again. Well, we get to it. Hot pan, one leg side, 5 minutes. Other leg side, 5 minutes. On the back, 5 minutes. Now the legs are well ahead. The breast starts later. Rest of this, juicy breast, perfect legs, one simple shift, completely different outcome. Another way, dry curing. Just sold 24 to 48 hours on the rack in the fridge, uncovered. And I don't know if you know, but salt, when it penetrates the muscles, it relaxes its fibers, so they contract less during cooking. It helps the meat to hold the juices in, instead of squeezing them out. And the drying, that gives you an even better, crispier skin. And that's where this comes in. Now here's the part where most people think, I lost my mind. I know, you might think I'm nuts, and I won't deny it, never. But before roasting, rub the skin with baking powder. It creates tiny micro bubbles that break down proteins and give you a shattering, crisp brown skin. We use that pan trick again, 5 minutes one leg, 5 minutes the other, then onto the back to give the legs the lead they need. Look at that skin. I didn't make this up, science did. However, people often ask me, what do you prefer, breast or legs? Honestly, I like both, especially on the chicken. But there's one thing I never do. I never stuff chicken, because it complicates everything. By the time the stuffing is ready and safe to eat, the meat is overcooked, dry, boring. Proteins have fully contracted and pushed out all the juices. But small aromatics inside, like herbs, garlic, lemon, perfect. Basting your chicken, yes, that's great if you do it once or twice. But fat only. Watery juices, no, because they kill crisp chicken skin. Plus you drop your oven temperature every time. Wine in a tray? No way. Who wants to have a steam bubble around the roasting chicken? Vegetables underneath? They won't roast properly. They just soak up juices and stay soggy. And remember, we want those juices for the gravy, which I'm gonna show you. So now, everything we have done so far leads into this, the absolute pinnacle, the Michelin standard. Wet brine bird, as before. I'm boiling hot water over the skin. Watch it contract. What does it do? It thins the thicker fat layers between the legs and under the wings and thickens it on the breast and on top of the legs and eliminates potential blisters. Then we need it bone dry, and if you don't have a day to air dry it in the fridge, do what I do, my wife's hairdresser. I always knew one day I use that thing, but don't tell her. She loves that thing, but then she also loves roast chicken. So I do it for 5 minutes. Seriously. And of course the baking powder and oil rub. No tray this time. Put the chicken directly onto the oven rack with a tray underneath to catch any drippings. Total airflow all around. Total browning. And then when you take it out, rest it. Ideally tilt it up for 20 minutes, and you do that for every roast chicken, so the juices from the thicker parts travel into the thinner muscles or the outer muscles where you push them away from. This is where most people rush, but this is where the magic is happening. Juices settle, meat firms, less moisture loss. Look at that back. Remember that soggy back when we started? Now it's crisp, it's beautiful. Now the oven isn't lying to you anymore, and if you want to go all the way, I mean all the way, just before serving, hot oil, pour it over once, twice, 3 times. And now look at that skin. To carve it, first you remove the legs with the help of your tongues. The breast, straight down, make a wish, because that's the wishbone. Then you move outwards. Done. But before we finish, look at that back. It's not soggy, it's crispy. That's the chef reward. The skin. And if you did a bad job, like I always do, there's still the oysters. So now the gravy. The juices, you remember, we saved them. White wine, a little balsamic, tomato puree, soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, gelatin, bit more butter, and then thicken it with beurre manier, which is an equal part of soft butter and flour. Recipes in the link below. Whisk it in a little bit, boil it, do it again until it feels right. I like to add chopped shallots and herbs, or keep it simple, do what my wife does. The water, gravy powder. Well, I let you do that, what you need to do there, and I turn away while this is going on. So we started with a simple question: why does roast chicken go wrong? And now you know why. It's not about complicated techniques, it's about understanding. Cooking is about making decisions that matter. Small ones that change everything. So next time you roast a chicken, think of me. Think how many times I tried and failed, so you don't have to. And before you realize it, you won't follow recipes anymore. You will know what you're doing. And that's where cooking becomes something else entirely. And if you want to see how to master just the breast for an even quicker meal, check out my other video here. And now we're going to taste it. Okay, so I'm gonna do a bit of a taste test of those roast chickens, because there's not much point just showing you, and then I could make anything up, couldn't I?
If you say so.
Okay, so I choose the 3 best ones. It's obviously the one I sort of cook all the time, which I've shown you with the trick of the heating in the pan.
Which I've not seen.
Yes, and then cooking on the sides. As you can see, the legs pretty nice and brown. And then the one which is that butterflied one, which you put the herbs, but you will know that. And then that's hopefully the one which will beat every other chicken.
Ah, you set yourself quite a challenge here because how do you perfect a chicken? I mean, even I make a good chicken. You've actually said yourself that my chicken's good.
Yeah, but
I'm not even a home cook.
I might have said that because I want
So
to impress
this
you.
is going to be, no, you were like, no, honey, you make a really good chicken. So this is going to be interesting because I love chicken,
Yeah.
roast chicken
Okay.
with gravy.
So let's have first one.
Yep.
So here,
So I taste the leg first.
yeah, whatever
Yep.
you like.
Oh, I like both, leg and breast.
Yes.
I reserve judgment until I've tried all three.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. See, when I grew up, we didn't eat the skin because it was considered not good for you. But once I met you, we started eating the skin.
Well, it's the best part, isn't it?
I know. My chicken's better than that one. It's a good chicken. I still think mine's a bit better. Okay, next.
Yeah, you can try that one out.
All right. Ooh, a bit of herb in this one. I like the look of this one better.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, but that was a bit plain.
Yeah.
That's why I said mine was
compared to
better.
that one.
No, this one's nice. I like this.
Yeah.
I go back for seconds. It's a bit more
Yeah.
tender as well.
Yeah.
More tender, more flavour. I could eat more of
Try
that.
the last one then.
I want to keep eating it, actually. It's always a good sign. I can see that one's really juicy. It's
Yes.
pouring out of it. How do you get so much water in it?
It's not getting it into it. It's about not
Losing it. Ah.
Gosh,
Gosh,
taste
look at how
that.
tender that looks. Difference there.
Yeah.
Now that's obviously dry. And this one, before even looking at it, look at how tender that is. Oof. I want to eat it just by looking at it. But I'm missing the herbs though. Wow, doesn't need the herbs. Super
them there.
tasty.
Yeah.
Where's the flavour from? Brine or something?
Yeah, Brining.
Ah, I'm learning. Brine.
Okay.
Very good.
So now, which one is the better gravy?
We're comparing which gravy is better.
Yes.
All right, so I just dip it in, shall I? That's got quite a kick to it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this one. That's a bit pointless. You don't need that with that. That's better
Okay.
without that.
Wow.
But that adds something to it.
Well, that's the gravy I learned from your mum.
Hey, be quiet. No, but look, that's probably very good with the dry chicken. But this chicken
I
actually
think that-
takes
I
away
think
from the
that-
flavour.
that-
I'm gonna try the dry
sauce.
cooking
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
do that.
cheeky
That should be a bit more of a homecoming.
gravy.
Huh? Should be a bit more.
Shush you. No, it's a bit of a homecoming, that one.
That's the winner.
Yeah, that's definitely the winner. And this one as well.
So thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.
You actually did a better chicken than me. Well done. See you later. But this one doesn't need gravy. This one does. The dead chicken needs gravy. They're all dead, aren't they?